You haven't spoken to them in months, maybe years. Then, out of nowhere, a specific song plays, or you catch a faint scent of a familiar cologne, and there they are, living right inside your head, as vivid as the day you met. You didn't invite this memory. Logically, you want to move forward. You try to push the thought away, yet your subconscious mind drags it back to the surface. We usually tell ourselves this happens because of the sheer volume of time spent together, or because of some unique cosmic bond. The reality is far more clinical. We are looking at the biological architecture of a memory, a specific sequence of events that forced your brain to build a permanent home for this person. Moving past the ghost of this person requires looking at the internal blueprints of your own mind and understanding the rigid structures it built around them. Every new experience creates a neural trace in your brain. To keep you functioning without being overwhelmed, your mind routinely prunes these traces, deleting the ones it considers mundane or repetitive. Your brain uses an overriding alarm system called the amygdala to filter this process. Its primary job is to identify moments of extreme emotional intensity, whether that is profound joy, paralyzing fear, or intense desire. When the amygdala detects those emotional spikes, it releases a flood of neurochemicals. This cocktail physically alters how a memory is stored, stamping the experience with a biological directive: do not delete. Researchers at NYU's Memory Lab mapped how this emotional charge alters recall. They found that highly emotional memories are consolidated up to 5 times more strongly than neutral ones. Because the amygdala assumes anything this intense is data required for future navigation, it preserves the memory of this person as a permanent reference point for your safety and well-being. The hardware is only half the equation. The rest comes down to glitches in psychological software. In the 1920s, a Soviet psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik spent time watching waiters at a bustling cafe. She noticed that the waiters could recall complex, multi-item orders flawlessly until the moment they poured the drinks. Once the transaction was finished, the food delivered, the memory vanished almost instantly. This revealed the Zeigarnik Effect, the cognitive tendency to fixate on incomplete tasks. An open loop creates a state of psychological tension that the brain can only resolve by finishing the job. If you were ghosted, or a relationship ended without an explanation, your brain views them as an unfinished task. It replays the memory endlessly because it is searching for the ending it was never given. Beyond just a lack of closure, certain behavioral patterns can create a state of absolute, inescapable psychological entrapment. Behavioral psychologists call this pattern intermittent reinforcement. It occurs when someone offers warmth and attention, but mixes it with random, unpredictable periods of coldness or distance. This cycle of variable reward is the same mechanic used to engineer gambling addiction. Because you never know exactly when the payout is coming, you are conditioned to keep pulling the lever. When someone is emotionally unpredictable, your brain simply doesn't learn to move on. It becomes biologically hooked on the possibility of the next win, trapping you in a cycle of anticipation. This reinforcement loop overpowers logic. Your rational mind may recognize the relationship was failing, but the addictive machinery in your brain is still waiting for the next reward. The connection reaches its deepest level through mirror neurons. These are specialized cells designed to simulate the emotional state of another person, allowing us to feel what they feel. In rare cases, 2 people experience neural coupling. During profound mutual understanding, their brainwaves literally synchronize. When this connection is lost, the brain enters withdrawal, continuing to generate the expectation of that unique synchronization, reaching for a match that is no longer there. Social psychologist Arthur Aaron calls this self-expansion. He suggests that the most unforgettable people are those who expanded our sense of who we are, opening new parts of our personality. Losing that person often means losing the specific version of yourself that only existed in their presence, leaving the memory as the only place where that part of your identity still survives. The amygdala tagged their memory. The open loop kept it active. Intermittent reinforcement made the connection addictive, and neural coupling wired your self-image. This persistence represents your mind flawlessly executing its job, holding on to the data it believes you still need to navigate your life. Rather than asking why you can't forget, consider what your brain is demanding you do with this information. You can choose to reach out and close the Zeigarnik loop, or you can choose to simply accept the memory as it is, a permanent record of a significant experience. A permanent memory stands as proof that you were once deeply and truly alive.